If you want a blanket recommendation, if you are a fan of The Long Goodbye, as I was, and you never heard of Yokohama BJ Blues, right there, hard stop, go pick it up. Why do you watch film? Do you watch it for the story, for the actors, for the director, screenwriter? Why do you watch film? The thing I look for in a film is what I call the vibe factor. Yes, it's going to be all those things. You know, you're going to vibe with a certain actor or a screenwriter, cinematography, director, story. You're going to vibe with all that. But it's when all those things come together and hits your brain in the sweet spot. That's the vibe factor I'm talking about. And Yokohama BJ Blues, right here, delivers on all those fronts. Yokohama BJ Blues is brought to us by Radiance Film in this Blu-ray, and I gotta say, guys, I'm very happy they brought this to America. This is a film I've never heard of until they brought it over, and I would say most of their films, if not all those films they've released, I've never heard of. So it's a company that I am personally excited for, and I can't wait to bring you more reviews by them. But that's for another day. Focusing on Yokohama BJ Blues, Yokohama BJ Blues is about a private detective slash blues singer named BJ, and he gets in over his head. BJ starts the film working for a mother looking for her son, who is now working for the family. Now, I don't know if the family is different than the yakuza, but they use those words differently. They say the yakuza and they say the family. It's not for the same thing. I don't know. The son doesn't want to go home. He says he's happy, where obviously he's not. It's alluded to that he is the main boss's like plaything, and at the same time, BJ's best friend, who is a detective, is in cahoots with the family, but internal affairs is coming down on him, so he's going to confess. So the family retaliates and assassinates the best friend, and now BJ is stuck between the police, who are just trying to find a conviction, and the family, who want to get rid of BJ. And at the same time, his ex-lover, who married his best friend, is somehow in the mix. I don't want to tell you the whole story. This isn't a film analysis. This is whether you should get this film right here for your physical media collection. But as a story, I think it was phenomenal. It is a loose remake of the Robert Altman film, The Long Goodbye, and it definitely shows. But what I will say is this: Yokohama BJ Blues goes about it in a different way than The Long Goodbye. For an example, when Philip Marlowe is in custody and the police are interrogating him, like, oh, you know where the person is, you know who killed him, you killed him, right? And he's singing, right? He's just singing, he's putting like this black stuff over his face and singing and having a good old time saying, you got nothing, and they release him. BJ gets beaten up, like, brutally. And the film shoots both the scenes the same way. The camera is outside the jail cell or the interrogation room, and one shot of looking in with a very, 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 very slow zoom in. Both scenes are beautiful. Both scenes show the same exact dynamic, but go about it a different way. That's what you should expect with BJ Blues. BJ Blues isn't a strict remake of The Long Goodbye, just heavily influenced in tone and some of the grittiness. The Long Goodbye gets pretty gritty, but I would say the BJ Blues gets even more grittier. It's definitely a grittier looking film, and BJ is a much more grittier figure than, say, Philip Marlowe in this version of the character. But if you want a blanket recommendation, if you are a fan of The Long Goodbye, as I was, and you never heard of Yokohama BJ Blues, right there, hard stop, go pick it up. You know, Radiance Film is having a 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble and Amazon, so pick it up there. But for everybody else, again, if you're looking for a hard-boiled Japanese film with a great vibe, this is it. You know, the story, the acting, the actor is this guy named Yusuke, I forget his name. The lead actor is Yūsaku Matsuda, and he's in actually another Radiant collection called The Game of Death, and I believe he's in another one coming out. And the screenwriter's name is Soichi Maruyama, and that guy has an amazing special feature on here talking about the relationship with him and the lead actor and how they've worked with each other several times and how they wrote this film together. I'm sorry, Yusada wrote the story and Soichi wrote the screenplay from the story, and they were both influenced from The Long Goodbye. They were influenced by Cruising, and they say only the music, but there's a lot of homoeroticism in the movie, and if you know anything about Cruising, well, you know about Cruising. But there's a lot of homoeroticism that the screenwriter said was never intent, and he's right. It can go 50-50. You know, it can be blatant, or it can just be subtext, or it's just not there. It's just dudes being dudes. So I would fully recommend Yokohama BJ Blues to any Neo-Noir fan out there. Here is Yokohama BJ Blues. I really love this artwork that Radiance put up for it. I love the Radiance little slip right there. That's limited to the first 3,000 copies, making it feel like a luxurious product. This is a world Blu-ray premiere, so there has been no other Blu-ray besides this one. This is Radiance Films number 86, and they did a really nice product. You know, it's called Yokohama BJ Blues, so they're not going to have this different colors. So the blue and the name, the blue and the slip, it's pretty beautiful. In the back here, this is a still from the film with a still down there from the film with the special features. This is a film directed by Ichio Kudo, and Ichio Kudo also directed at least one film in the Bounty Hunter trilogy, which I haven't yet opened, but I can't wait to open this up. Just a little preview. This is a film by Ichio Kudo, released in 1981, 112 minutes, color, Japanese language, 178.1, and mono. This is a high definition transfer with uncompressed mono. There's a few different special features, one with the main actress, Marie Hime, the writer, Sonichi Maruyama, which was fantastic. I really recommend that one. It gave a lot of great insight into the making of the film and his relationship with the lead actor, and a critic that shows the Yokohama, showing the sights. That was nice. That was, seeing how it looks today. I enjoyed that. But I love Radiance packaging. Obviously, the first thing everyone thinks of when they think of Radiance packaging is the Criterion packaging. Here's the gunfighter. Very similar vibe. Kind of cases. Number on the side. But I love the added touch of Radiance gives. This little slip right here goes a long way. Let's open it up. So you see this blue Radiance disc, very appropriate, with a booklet. Let's take the booklet out. And then we notice it is a reversible cover. Let's take that out.
This is pretty nice. I do enjoy this quite a bit. It's a little more streamlined. This is probably going to be what the next print looks like if it goes into a second printing. And I do enjoy it quite a bit, but again, I love this slip, so the slip looks better with that one. So the disc is just a regular disc. It's nice. I like the color, keeping in the same color scheme. So this booklet, you got the main character twice. That's BJ right there. And the context has a history of the company Toei Central. And it shows its beginning and its trials and tribulations and how they became a film company and prospered. And then a review of the film from back in 1981. If you pick up this collection, do not read the review until you watch the film, because the first line in the review spoils the film. I did not know that. So I started reading the review and I got spoiled. So don't be like me and don't get spoiled. And there's a couple frames here. See, that's BJ and his cop friend, his best friend. Popcorn's a big motif in the film. He keeps bringing up popcorn. Like I said, Yokohama is a port town, so a lot of blues. Really nice booklet. You know that this scene right here doesn't show it all, but this was Yokohama, air guitaring with the boy he was sent to save from the mother. And that scene is actually pretty amazing because it shows this brotherly bond between these two men. It's an older brother, younger brother bond, and it was very akin to the Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid. Raindrops Are Dropping on My Head with Butch Cassidy and I forget the woman's name, but very akin to that scene. This is how it looks like without the slip. I would say this collection gets a 10 out of 10 in packaging. I just really love what Radiance is doing. I love the director's name on the side here. That's a beautiful touch that they're gonna make people buy so many films because they're gonna make them want to collect all the films by the same director just to have their names right there, not just the number there, the name. I think that's a beautiful touch. I don't know if you can see it because of the right there. Let me try to get it. Right there, yeah. It's beautiful. I love it. But yeah, this collection gets a 10 out of 10. So let's get back to the regular review.
Now that you just saw the box set is pretty amazing, pretty stellar. I would give that a 10 out of 10 on the vibe factors. But for the resolution, yes, it's a 1080p transfer, and that means, is it going to be the most crisp video? No. There's a lot of grain. This film takes place a lot at night, and it's super, super grainy at times. Especially at the beginning where the main character is like running at night and he is being highlighted by the cars and there's just grain everywhere. Sometimes he's blown out by the light. So the resolution is not 100%. But with this type of film, you do want a gritty look. You do want a real life look. And just like the noir films that were black and white back in the 40s, you do want that heavy contrast. So I think Radiance succeeds 100% with this release. If there was a 4K, would I consider picking it up? Maybe, but right now I'm happy with this Blu-ray and I fully recommend you pick this up. Again, I already stated that Amazon is having a 50% off sale, so is Amazon. I'll leave a link down below so you pick it up. There's no affiliate. I don't get anything for it. I just want to help you get this product because I love this film. I love the vibe of this film. And I can probably talk about this film for a very long time. Talk about the scenes and shots and that fight factor, that Kino factor. Let's have a quick aside. This film opens with BJ sitting on the toilet, eating some ramen, drinking some beer, going to the bathroom, and I was in love instantly. Then it shows him running up a mountain and cars passing him honking, and he's flicking them off. And then he's at a club, and then he starts to sing, and this man can sing. It's such a deep, sad voice singing the blues, and it was beautiful. It goes over the credits, and I'm like, at that point, I was in love. At that point, I knew I made the right decision in buying this film, and I hope I helped you make the right decision too. If I have, please comment down below. That's what I truly want to know, if this video has helped you purchase this, because that's all I care about, is bringing unique films out to the world, not just subscribers and stuff like that. I want you guys to see these films that you may not have heard of otherwise. I've only heard of this because I'm on Amazon every single day looking at releases that I want to buy or would love to buy, and I was lucky enough to be able to purchase this. I'm Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment. If you're inclined, please subscribe, but I'd rather hear from you in the comments and tell me your thoughts about this film, thoughts about this review, what I can improve on, what you like, what you dislike, because I'm still very new at the YouTube game and I'm not sure how to get better unless you tell me. You can always hit that thumbs up. That always gives me confidence. But until next time, thank you for watching, and remember, keep watching film.